Welcome to the NGEN Markets Compare section. In this section, we are going to be discussing about how you can compare two portfolios to come up with an effective acquisition of your clients. Here what you can do is you can effectively add in clients in the left side. Here you can see the clients portfolios can be added either from the portfolios section or either from the RTA clients, which is our client section. You can also add in your own model portfolios if you have previously saved into the system in the NGEN Markets terminal. Here what you can see is the comparisons of the performance of the portfolios given here. And what you can do is you can see the annual return difference, which is the comparisons of the two historical backtest of the portfolio. Similarly, what we have given here is the comparisons of the different sets of statistics like cumulative return, average annual return, volatility, and the Sharpe's ratio itself. So that's how you can do the comparisons based on the performances of the two portfolios, and you can also preset a custom start date for any particular set of the portfolios in the comparison section itself. There are several other tabs where you can use to compare portfolios based on different sets of parameters. One of them is an asset allocation comparison. You can now compare the asset allocations of the two portfolios based on different sets of equity sector comparison, market cap comparisons, and you can also compare it based on the debt parameters side of it. As you can see, the average maturity, average YTM, and even the portfolio credit ratings. And furthermore, what you can do is you can also compare the exposures of the portfolio accordingly into the system, which can also show the top equity sector exposures, top debt exposures itself into the NGEN Markets terminal. You can also compare the portfolios based on the rolling return analysis. Here what you can do is you can check the period, which is the 6-month and a 1-year period, and see the average expectancy of the portfolio based on the rolling returns average, rolling returns volatility, and even the highs and the lows. It will help us to determine how you can actually compare the two portfolios and come up with your own recommendation to the client based on the rolling analysis. Similarly, what you can do is you can also check in the drawdown analysis, because this will help us to determine the strength of the portfolios which we are comparing. As you can now see the level of size and even the recovery in days for the drawdowns for the two portfolios from the right to left side, and you can effectively add in as many portfolios and compare side by side for the two portfolios in the NGEN Markets terminal. You can now generate a password protected PDF report for the portfolio comparisons itself. To do that, head over to this create PDF tab, and you can now actually generate a PDF report which is password protected, and you can also input as a capital amount in rupees accordingly into the system based upon your own preferences. Once the PDF report is generated, you can now view this PDF report, which is actually co-branded, and these report will be useful for effective client acquisition. These reports will include all the datasets like the portfolio performance comparisons, portfolio asset allocation comparisons, and it will also show you some of the quantitative comparisons like the rolling analysis and even the portfolio comparisons based on the composition which you have input as a capital. This will help us to determine the capital and also to determine the action plan for the client if they start investing with your own model portfolio which you are suggesting based on the portfolio comparisons itself. We also have compare securities into the compare section, where you can effectively add in constituents of the portfolios for effective comparisons of individual securities. To do that, head over to this add portfolios and securities tab, and you can now add in client portfolios either from the portfolios section or either from the RTA clients itself. Now the premium users of NGEN Markets will have this functionality open up, and you can effectively add in as many portfolios and compare the constituents based on different sets of parameters like rolling analysis, drawdown analysis, calendar year analysis, and even the positional overlap to understand the diversification of the portfolio. Similarly, you can also select the customized security which you have already generated as a premium user, and you can add it into our system. As you can now see, we have already added an NGEN Markets example as a custom security, and then you can compare these custom securities with the individual mutual funds and do the effective comparisons accordingly.